Hi, welcome to Geology. Some cold days here, Tuesday and Wednesday, so it looks like we're pivoting to online. This is a Wednesday class, so you're going to be missing the lecture and the lab. I'm going to make a couple videos here. Please feel free to speed them up, pause them, replay them as you need. I'm going to quick run through what I would have done the first day of class, and then I do have a lecture for you today, and I do have a couple activities for you today. So you're going to need to be familiar with the D2L. It's a new system this year. But yeah, here we go. So you follow along with me. If you go to your D2L page for geology, if you click on content on the left-hand side, you'll see you have an introduction to and resources. You've got some big ticket assignments, and then you'll have each week laid out for you. So let's go ahead and get into the syllabus here. If you want to open this up, you can. I've taken snippets of it and put it into this little PowerPoint presentation that you can also go through. So we'll start here. So my name is Mr. Matt Kimball. I have some contact information here. My email, matthew.kimball@cornerstone.edu, and my cell phone, 616-307-4477. Because I'm an adjunct professor, I don't have a desk in Cornerstone on campus anywhere. So if you need to get a hold of me, it's best to shoot me an email, and I'll respond within the next 24 hours, usually the same day. If it's an absolute emergency, go ahead and shoot me a text or give me a phone call. I will try to be at school an hour before class on Monday and Wednesdays. So that usually means I will be in the teacher workroom in the science building, the WIT Center, down on the main floor next to the little office there. And you can catch me in there, or just give me a call and I can meet you somewhere. Lecture will be an hour and a half on Monday and Wednesday, and then we'll give you a break. We'll try and cut Wednesday a little bit short so you can go get some chow at the cafeteria, and then we'll finish up class 6 to 8 for lab. We'll be in the 300 classroom. It's on the second floor of the DeWitt Center. I'm just going to kind of skim through this. I know going back online is kind of painful for some of you. This is my family. This is Christy, Flynn, Jude, Brooks, Hayes, and myself, and then our little dog Stella. We've been married since 2012. We live in Rockford, so just up the road. When we first got married, we moved out west and spent about 9 years in Utah. And so as a geology teacher, that's pretty important. I had some really good classes at the University of Utah where we went and actually touched the rock, which is hard to do here in Michigan. I graduated from Byron Center in 2002. I went to Cornerstone. This is my alma mater. It took me about 10 years to get through my undergrad. I dropped out at some point and decided to come back. I did run track, and I was a pole vaulter, and I currently am the pole vault coach. So I'll be doing that this spring as well. Got my master's at the University of Utah shortly after we moved out west in earth science. I did some cool stuff with the Teacher Research Fellowship where I did my research, and currently I'm working on a Master of Arts at Michigan State. I've had all kinds of jobs. I am in the military. I've been in for 23 years now, and I've coached pole vault for a bunch of different school districts, all the way down to middle school up to college, and really enjoyed it. I have lots of experience teaching different grade levels, so 7th grade all the way up to college students. You can kind of see my positions that I've done. Currently, I'm teaching earth science at Rockford. Hobbies: I like to mountain bike, snowboard. We camp every summer, and we like to travel. Usually I'm coaching my kids' sports in the fall as often as I can. So what I'd like you to do is you're going to go ahead and pause this video, and in the discussion board post, I'd like you to respond to these questions. After that, please take a minute and read through your classmates' responses, and I'd like you to respond to 2 students with at least a sentence. Just kind of acknowledge them, see if anybody has similarities or commonalities between you, and that will be your attendance. So I do have to take attendance one time during this semester, and so your response to this introduction about yourself will be your attendance. All right, we're not going to take a 5-minute break. We're going to push. You can pause this video whenever you need. You have 3 textbooks. You have the Dynamic Earth, Introduction to Physical Geology. You will be using that weekly. I will have outlines for each chapter that we go through. You should have the outline of that chapter typed up and submitted before you come to class. So the due date for each of those outlines will be prior to the lecture on that topic. It's really important for you to understand the vocabulary, the terms, the lists. It will make the lecture a lot more meaningful for you. You'll understand what I'm talking about if you have that background information. I'm just asking you to do an outline, looking at the headings, subheadings, bold words, any of the definitions or lists that you see. You should make note of those. You'll see a lot of that stuff on the upcoming tests. The Applications and Investigations is a lab book. You're going to need that. I'll be collecting those at the end of each lab period. I do have some supplemental material that we'll be doing. Those will be in the form of packets. But for the most part, this is a pretty good lab notebook. It's got pretty good pictures and diagrams. That's a big part of geology. I also have a free download. We're going to be looking at faith, reason, and earth history. This will add a Christian worldview component to this. Geology is a very secular, old world, evolution-based topic. When you go out into the real world, you will be looked at very differently as a Christian. And so being able to reconcile hard secular science with your biblical understanding and worldview is really important. And so every week I have a discussion board post that will ask you to relate a Christian reading with what we're talking about in class. Course description, I'll let you read that. This is geology, all right? Integration of faith and content. Again, I hope to pull this together with our weekly discussion board posts. In some respects, it does seem like more work, but as a Christian, we want to make sure that we don't lose sight of our faith and our values when confronted with what appears to be very secular and true facts that kind of sometimes are in conflict with what we believe. So we will try to integrate that as best we can. Here are the university policies, academic integrity policies, FERPA, academic rigor. As a rule of thumb, you can expect a minimum of 2 hours outside of class for every registered class hour. So this is a 4-credit class, and so that's 8 hours of homework outside of class. And I don't think we quite meet that. I think we're a little bit lighter than that, but we do have outlines and readings that you will take some time. Course policies, attendance and tardiness. It is important to be present. If you miss 1/3 or more of class, then I have to fail you. That's university policy. So, sicknesses and things come up, but you need to communicate that to me, and we need to be adults about this. You're paying for the course, and so I want to make sure that you are getting the most out of your course. There are resources in the Center for Student Success. You are more than welcome to use those. Technology, we'll need a computer and a notebook pretty much every class period. We're going to be using D2L. And hopefully you're familiar with how to use this at this point. I know it's new this year, but this is second semester. Student outcomes, I'll let you read through those. Okay, here's the breakdown, grade breakdown. So you'll have chapter outlines. Every lecture class, you'll have a chapter outline due. That's going to be 5% of your grade. You'll have a weekly discussion board post that will try to invoke the Christian worldview as it applies to geology. And then once a week on Wednesdays, we will have a lab report that's due. And then you'll have quizzes, tests, projects, papers periodically. So that will be the bulk of your grade there. The grading scale is pretty standard. And that is it for the syllabus. So I think that's a record.